Uh,
And we're done.
okay. Man, I'm glad I edit this pod because if I didn't edit this pod, that would be a blooper intro. Oh, man. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 52 of the Comic Room Pod. First appearance of Black Panther.
That's right. That is the key 52.
Yeah, we've made it. Welcome, guys. Appreciate you whether you're watching or listening. I'm your host, Spro. And with me, as always, is the man of the week here, Mr. Longbox. This episode could be an hour. This episode could be 3 hours. I really don't know. We're recording at 10 p.m. Sunday night. So
We're really getting it under the wire.
Yeah, you guys are going to be listening to this. If you're on the East Coast, what time is it in the East Coast? 1 a.m. You're going to be listening to this in 6 hours. So,
We're dedicated.
yeah, that's kind of crazy to think about.
And we're not it's not because we procrastinated, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. What's funny is I don't even have news, and this is like the perfect time for news because it's like any news that came out, I would have it all.
Yeah.
But it's just been such a busy week that I haven't been on the typical outlets that I'm on sourcing news. So, well.
Yeah. If you guys know of any news, drop it in the comments for us. Do us a solid.
Yeah, for real. Appreciate you guys watching, listening, however you're partaking in this. You can follow us on Instagram. I'm at Spros_comics. He's at Mr. Period Longbox. And yeah, it should be a pretty chill episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's just start off with some show and tell.
Show and tell? Okay.
Yeah.
Should I go first?
I'll go first. I feel like I haven't gone first.
Yeah.
Show and tell in a long time.
You go first.
All right. This show and tell is going to kick off the whole topic of this show. And this is Hulk 250. This is the
awesome.
classic.
It's a great book, man.
Yeah, it's a classic Milgram cover. Hulk versus Silver Surfer in space. You guys know the cover. This is a copy that I just got last night from this wacko seller on IG who was just giving out books for free.
Yeah,
essentially,
sometimes you luck out. You get into a claim sale and there's a dude that is just like, I'm not taking these books home.
Yeah.
And he's just taking. He's like negotiating against himself. He's just like dropping prices before anybody even asks.
Yeah, it's crazy. The crazier thing was I was in the room while this live sale was going on, and the live sale ended, and this book did not get claimed. I mean, you had this book list. This is an 8.0 copy.
Yeah, 8.0 because it has a little staining on the back cover. That's it.
Yeah,
and it's probably higher than an 8.0. It certainly presents like a 9.2.
Yeah, it presents really well. You had this book for $18.
I know.
And I mean, I think somebody probably could have offered you $8.
I might have said yes.
And you would have I should have offered you
15.
8.
I would have said yes for sure.
Yeah, I don't. All right, nobody took it. I mean, that's a fantastic cover.
Yeah.
I had a cover. I sold it for more than that. I know for a fact. And it was a lower grade.
Yeah, that's a solid book.
But if you haven't caught on to our jokes yet, Mr. Longbox had a IG sale last night.
My first one.
His first ever claim sale. He was live on my page.
Yeah.
And he was dealing and wheeling books. And we'll talk about it all in a little bit. But this is what I walked away with. I chipped in and I bought this.
Yeah. And I was glad too because it was going to be a crazy steal for somebody or nobody. But if it was going to be for somebody, I'm much happier for it to be you because it stays in the family.
Yeah, and
I love that book.
Yeah, it's a great book.
I do.
So there's my show and tell.
Yeah,
nothing more to say about it.
All right, So my show and tell. Hopefully, my show and tell in the future is going to be really something crazy, which again we'll talk about.
Yeah.
But I do have a really cool show and tell. This is a book that I bought a couple weeks ago, but I didn't spend any money on it. Because as you know, you guys have kind of made a commitment to save my monthly comic budget for a bigger purchase. And so you might be thinking, what happened? Oh, you've already shown us a new book. You fell off the wagon already. You know? No, I did go on eBay and pick this book up, but I bought it using almost exclusively. I had to kick in $20-$30 maybe, but credit card points. The credit card points that you can exchange for. Some allow you to exchange for eBay gift cards. That's what I did. I saved up a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And I picked up this book that I have wanted for a very long time, and I'm holding a 7.0 copy, white pages. So you got me on a white page thing now. Twilight Zone issue 84, and what's special about issue 84 is that it's the first published professional comic book artwork by Frank Miller. He didn't do the cover, but he did panels and pages on the inside.
Nice.
And what got me really thinking about getting this book was when we went and looked at that collection that we looked at.
Yeah. I see.
Yeah. And that book was in that collection. And I love the cover, but mostly, I love Frank Miller and what he has meant to the hobby. And he was the guy that was popular when I broke in, and it was because of him that I really got hooked on comics. And I had these two already. This one here is Weird War Tales issue number 64, and this is Frank Miller's first DC artwork. And this is John Carter, Warlord of Mars, issue number 18, and that's his first work at Marvel. And for the longest time, I thought I had them. I had Miller's first work. I didn't even know that book existed. I didn't know there was something else. And then when I found out there was, the price has already gotten away from me. So I've had those two that I just showed you, but not that one for years. And I never really could just pull the trigger on it because it's not cheap, but also it's just not that easy to find in high grade.
Yeah.
And a 7.0 is a really good grade for this book.
Yeah.
A 7.0 white pager, even better. So
the back cover is weird.
Oh, sea monkeys. Yeah. The sea monkeys are kind of creepy.
Yeah, this is creepy.
This is for kids, y'all.
Felt wrong looking at it.
Yeah. There's something about that that's just not right.
Yeah.
I'm initially I thought that it would be cool to get Frank Miller's signature on all three of these books, but that was before his signature got really expensive. And, I've seen it go for as much as 125. And we paid, I think, 80 for a signature at a con or at Torpedo Comics not too long ago, a couple years ago. So I don't know. And I guess I could still think about doing that, but I already have his signature on a couple of books that are special. I just don't know if I want to spend an additional $400, $300, $400, after slabbing and verifying and all that to get them signed.
Sure.
Would it be cool? Yeah, absolutely. It would be
sure.
cool. And I was initially thinking I would just find a raw copy. But I couldn't really find a good raw copy.
Yeah.
Except that one in in the collection, it looked solid.
Yeah.
But there was no deal there. So anyway, really happy about this book. And it's because of you that I'm in the white pages, because there was a 7.5. It was about $50 more than this book, but it was off white to white pages. I'm like 7.5 off white to white for $50 more, or 7.0 white pages. And I'm basically out the door for almost nothing. And it really wasn't that hard. I actually thought this was a more desirable book.
Yeah. I mean, the white pages, it looks way cleaner. Like, look at behind you. X-Men 6, ASM 5, X-Men 7, like white page, like that looks slick.
Yeah, not a lot of
Marvel's, or,
not a lot of words.
Silver Surfer 3 white pages. Yeah. It's real clean.
So there you go. If you're a collector, we tend to be completionists. That's part of the fun of it, and everybody has their own thing. I like to fill runs, but not like crazy runs. But this is a little mini run that I wanted. I wanted Frank Miller's first work, period. Bulky. Now, please, someone don't tell me he also did a first work on Dell or Disney or something. I can't handle it. Something else more obscure than this, But this one it was hard to get because Twilight Zone in the late 70s was a very low print run. And you can imagine they all just got common boxed. They all got trashed.
Yeah, for sure.
Nobody was thinking this was going to be worth collecting.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there's my show and tell for the
nice
for the week. It's it gets to something we were talking about earlier. When I was doing the claim sale, somebody bought a book from me and said, okay, now that I bought it, what I'd also like all you guys to do in the room, because it's kind of a friend, family, is sign the book. And it was a beautiful art germ cover, Wonder Woman. And there's no way I could deface the book with my unrelated signature.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a thing, right? So the reason I think about, so what we ended up doing is found another book for him that was in the claim sale, didn't sell, that we're going to sign because there's a joke there that maybe we'll get into. But anyway, it's not easy to deface any comic book for any reason at all.
Yeah.
So I've got comics in my collection, and so do you, that you look at that going, why is that still in, like, why don't I just get rid of it?
Yeah.
How many of you have ever actually thrown away a comic book, just thrown it away?
I did recently.
It felt weird though, right?
Yes, but it was because I was so mad. It was that the Neil Adams Boba Fett limited copy. Yeah. And I picked it up at San Fernando ValleyCon that we went to. And I was taking it out of the bag. And normally I'm really careful. And I tape pulled it like crazy. And it's a modern book. So I tape pulled it, which when you tape pull a modern book, the book is worthless.
Yeah.
So I was so frustrated at myself because I got that book for $1. It's like a $20, $30 book, maybe a little bit less. And I got that book for $1, and I would have made
20 times your money.
Yeah,
how often do you get to do that?
Exactly. So I did the tape pull just right in the center of the book too. Like this wasn't like.
Was it signed or something?
No,
okay.
It was I wasn't paying attention.
So you
tape
just
pull
out of disgust.
Dead center of the book. I was so mad. I just ripped the book in half. I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this ever. Cause I've done this before. Like I didn't tape pull, but I was cleaning and pressing an ASM 50. And this was really early on in my cleaning and pressing days. And I just was not careful enough when I was cleaning the back cover, and I tore the book maybe 1/4 inch, probably a little bit less.
Yeah.
And I just walked out of my house. I repped it. I put the tools down, and I literally walked out of the house.
And that was your dream grail at the time too. That was
one of my big ones. Yeah. And I was so frustrated. And I mean, you can't rip that book up. Like you just got to eat it. So that definitely came to mind when I did the tape pull. I was like, there's not many books that are going to come around where I make a mistake like this, where I can't rip it. So now that I have the opportunity to, I'm going to.
Did it make you feel better?
It was cathartic, but it didn't make me feel better. There was an emotional release of some kind.
But it didn't fix the book.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, you didn't notice the tape pull anymore, at least.
Yeah, they had other bigger problems at that point.
In 2 pieces. Oh man, that's rough. I have a hard time throwing away books that say free comic book day on the top. Like sometimes I buy from an eBay seller, and they'll include like some 90s Youngblood comic as a freebie. And I understand now why they do it, because they want it out of their collection, but they don't have the heart to throw it away either. So they just hot potato it to me. Now I got to store it because I don't know what to do with it either. I actually was looking at one. Somebody sent me a Youngblood. It's kind of cool. It's got like a reverse
Rob
flip.
Liefeld.
Yeah,
and he's trying to revive it.
And and the cover's like if it's you could read from either side, like it's a reverse cover thing. And I'm like, you know what? What am I doing with this book? Like, I don't even. And I said, well, let me just see. And then look on eBay. Is it even selling anywhere for anything?
That's what I was literally about to do.
And it does though. It sells for like $4 or $2 or $3. Like it's got some green when you look it up for like completed sales. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I had to keep it now.
Well, I mean, just because it sells for $1 or for $4 doesn't mean it actually has value.
No, but it has value to somebody.
To Rob Liefeld, it does.
Maybe he's buying them all. Trying to corner the market.
I mean, I'm getting all the new ones. I don't know. I guess maybe if you throw out enough Youngbloods, then they'll become worth something, and then you'll regret that you throw them out.
No, maybe there's got to be some kind of like Boys and Girls Club or something that I could go and say, here's like 2 short boxes of comics, you know, take them for your kids to read them.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
That would be something that I could feel good about. Like,
yeah, for sure.
you know, even if they never read them, at least it's, and even if they wind up throwing them away, I'm not the one doing it.
Yeah.
Because I've got a lot of books that, you know, it would take a miracle for them to ever have any kind of collectible value.
Yeah.
And yet I can't seem to, I can't get rid of them.
That might be like one of those things where you just like put a bunch of books like that on Facebook Marketplace and just say $10. It's like 200 worthless books or whatever. And someone just come over and give you $10.
Yeah.
Go get yourself a J. Mike sandwich. You know what's funny is on Facebook
that's
Marketplace, I have a box of really low grade silver and Bronze Age books. Like some don't have covers, some have water damage, some have pieces missing.
Yeah.
Just low grade. Like anywhere from 0.5 to probably like 2.5, maybe 3. There's some minor keys in there, like nothing crazy, but nothing that like I want to like deal with, and something that's like, okay, I bag and board it. I waste $1.25 or whatever on a Mylar, or not even that, whatever my cost is on a Mylar, which isn't $1.25 because that's kind of crazy. And then sell it to somebody. It just the time being invested into it just like wouldn't be worth it for all the work for how low grade it is. Anyways, but there are some minor keys in there, like some first cover appearances, like random, like some Thor bronze keys. There's no big keys in there, but some little stuff. I have it on Facebook Marketplace. It's like $125. I have it up there for 150. If someone offers me 100, I'll say yes. Right. So it's barely $1 a book, and it's silver and bronze. Like
you heard it here first. $100.
I had somebody DM me or message me. I kid you not. They said, "Why so expensive?"
Really?
I didn't even respond.
Why did they bother?
They were like, "What's the lowest you would go?" What?
For $1 a book?
Essentially, yeah. And
it's silver and bronze?
Yeah.
And they're bagged in Mylar?
No, they're not bagged and boarded.
Okay, but still.
I mean, I feel like $1 a book, like if you're
can I guess who it was? No, I'm just kidding.
If you're starting on Whatnot,
you know what I'm thinking.
I do. If you're like starting on Whatnot or like, I don't know, popping up at shows,
yeah,
like
that's a starter.
Yeah,
it's a starter kit.
Just shoot me if you send me an offer of $75, I probably say yeah.
Yeah, but why got to be a jerk about it?
Like, I feel like that person probably thinks that I don't know what I have in there or like what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
You should just write it back and say, I don't know, maybe not. Don't waste your time. Yeah.
No, yeah. That's Facebook Marketplace is just don't waste your time.
So that's, I don't know why people have to be that way sometimes.
So I'm just like, dude, I don't know what, like,
all right. I confess. I confess it was me.
That's not a way to start negotiation. Why so expensive?
Yeah. Insult me first.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a great start.
Insult me with your offer. Leave it at that. Like even at Comic Cons when I don't agree with people's prices, but I want to see if they have room to negotiate. The first thing is I don't walk up there and say, "Hey, this book is priced pretty outrageously. Can we negotiate and work out a deal?" No, I normally the first thing I say is like, "Hey, is there
some room on that?
this?
Yeah, you got some room on that book." Yeah.
And then you go from there. But I never want to like disrespect. I don't know. I was like, at first I was like, what in the world? And then I just kind of laughed. I thought it was funny.
Yeah. Yeah. The world's full of all kinds of people. I might have some interaction with Facebook Marketplace soon because I have a surfboard to sell.
Good luck. Well, I feel like you won't have a hard time where we live.
I mean, we live in Surf County.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't really, I've gotten 5 years of use out of it, so I'm not really worried about getting like my money back out of it. Just getting some money out of it would be nice.
Sometimes that's what I see when I am selling comics. Like if I pull a book from my PC to put in a claim sale, and I know I'm like taking a bit of a haircut. I'm like, well, I got to own it for a little bit. So
Yeah, you pay a little rent.
yeah, exactly.
You
Yeah.
rented it. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did have a claim sale, and we said that there was going to be 2 claim sales this week. You announced it on our last podcast, and what predicated it was, well, you had already planned to do the 1 claim sale, but what predicated the second one was that I made that announcement, which was, if you guys remember, I'm going to earnestly pursue Fantastic 401. That's going to be. And I'm going to try to make that dream a reality. That's the grail of my collecting life. And there's no way I can buy it just taking money out of the bank to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could do it, but it would be a very bad move for my family.
Yeah.
I don't think my wife would appreciate it.
Yeah. For the sanity of your household.
Yeah, she would. I mean, if I did it, she'd go, okay. I mean, but I wouldn't feel good about it.
Yeah, you wouldn't feel good.
And I don't want to not feel good about it.
Yeah.
So what I determined was I'm going to raid my PC and sell and see how close can I get. And I didn't come up with that on my own. Obviously, there were Rohan from Back in the Game Comics challenged me on that via direct message. I think in response to what me saying a couple of weeks ago on the podcast that I think I'm done with my FF pursuits because I've got everything but 1 and 5, and I know I can't really get those. And he's like, yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You can't tell me you don't have enough books in your collection to sell to free up some money to buy that book if you're saying you want it that bad. And he's not. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're actually not wrong. You're right.
He's actually more right than he knows, based on the amount you raised.
Yeah.
And the amount that you sold.
Okay, so. Yeah. I looked at did some research, and I figure 6,000 to 6,500 is the ticket to get in on FF1, unless I want to get one without a cover or missing, qualified or something like that. But if I want to get a blue label, one that's say like a 1.0, 1.5, basically from the 1.0 to the 2.0 range, you're not getting it for much less than that. 5,500. I saw a crazy sale for 5,000. For 1.5, just like a week ago,
and a great looking 1.5 too.
Yeah. So anyway, my goal is I'm going to do this by not buying comics out of my monthly comic budget. Instead, just putting that money in the bank or setting aside on the ledger. Between $300 and $500 a month, doing that. And then any gifts, like my parents sent me $100 for my birthday.
Heck yeah.
Man, I love it. So now I have, not just 500 for the month, but 600, and then anyway, so we had the sale. How do I even begin to tell the story, man? I what's the best way to go about it? Should I just tell them how much I sold? Should
I? So we started the sale. Mm-hmm. I brought out 36 books, basically, which 36 makes up a full wall on my setup. And the reason I did that is because in my experience, the first 30 minutes are slow. Just because people are hopping in, people are hopping out, people are kind of checking the vibe.
Right.
And I just wanted to kind of take that pressure off Mr. Longbox, because I know in those moments, especially early on when I was doing claim sales, it was a bit scary and you felt like you just had to accept the first deal.
Yeah, it gets quiet.
Yeah, it can get quiet. So I was like, I'll go on for the first 20, 30 minutes. I'll just show some books. I brought out, I think the highest price book I had was a Hulk 340. And then I had a couple of $5. So I just was, I appeal stuff so that people maybe stick around.
That was nice.
And then moved around I moved pretty much all my lower grades or lower price stuff. And yeah, the sale kicked off, and then I went through the wall and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do one wall scan, and then I'm pulling all these off, and Mr. Longbox is hopping on. So everybody in the books were already getting claimed, so there was momentum. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it worked out. Thanks.
Yeah, so that just meant that now Mr. Longbox can hop in there. He can feel comfortable. People are already starting to claim. there's already like a little bit of healthy competition in the chat for some books or whatever. So, now people are motivated, I'm already in on shipping.
Yeah.
So let's stick around and see what this guy has.
And then you threw out, first 5 claims get free shipping.
Yeah.
So that really helped too. So thank you.
So I hope motivated some people there. And then, you can go the rest. The rest is your POV.
I brought 16 slabs and 2 short boxes, or about a short box and a half. And I tried. I had a pretty good mix of books. Nothing too crazy on the raw side. I think the most expensive raw that I had was a little bit over $200. Right about there. But most of them were in the $40 range. I say on average, and then some all the way down to $5. Just some cheap Ripley's, believe it or not, and a cheap Charlton, and that's just kind of cool stuff. Conversation starter books, and we're kind of cruising along, and I'm selling a little bit here, selling a little bit there, and then we finished the first wall, and then by now it's probably been about 45 minutes or so, and I already kind of knew it anyway, but I committed to it. I just went for it. I just realized I really don't want to bring any of these books home. I'm not here. I'm actually not here to negotiate. I'm here to get my hands on a copy of Fantastic 4-1.
Okay, I got a question, because I've experienced it with you.
Yeah.
In the office. I think they've experienced it here a little bit. The caffeine. You get like a caffeine adrenaline rush where you get hype.
Oh, yeah.
And I know you had like a half calf drink, and then I brought you a latte. Was part of what you're about to talk about, was part of that caffeine?
Caffeine, adrenaline, and just overall excitement about the whole thing. The fact that I have control over whether or not this sale is successful. And for me, it's different than it is for you, because for you, it's your business, and you've got a profit margin. Otherwise, it's not worth your time. You know what I mean? You got to turn a profit. For me, I'm selling books that I've owned for 30 years. So if I bought a book for $30 and now it's worth $300, and someone wants to pay me $225, okay, all right. Even though someone else just sold it for $275, I'm like, fine, I'll take it. Like, sure, would I like to have the $300 for it instead? Yeah, of course, but it just, I didn't want to leave. I spent a lot of work, a lot of time getting set up for this thing. And Joshua has a method for prepping for a claim sale. He's very meticulous, and he showed me his method, and it appeals to me because I'm meticulous about this kind of stuff. So I went for it too. It's time consuming, but it's the only way to do it right, to be in control of your inventory. Anyway, so I spent a lot of time, and yes, the coffee had a lot to do with it too, because I was absolutely, I pretty much decafed in the spring and spent the summer not pretty much decafed, except for I was in Italy, but the coffee just hits you different there. But I knew I would need something for the claim sale, so I made myself a half calf Americano.
Yep.
Just one shot of caffeinated, one shot of decaf. But as I'm coming over for the sale, Josh was like, "Do you want a latte?" And this man makes the best lattes in town, so I couldn't really say no. He brought me an iced latte, full calf, and I was probably about halfway through with it in the first hour. Like, I was trying to nurse it, but once you surrender to it, you surrender to it. So and I don't know, man. Something just came over me, and I'm like, let's go. Let's just go.
This dude started slashing prices like you would never believe. This dude sold. This is one of the steals of the night, and I think it was one of the first books to go. You had a Werewolf by Night, 32, First Midnight, CGC 50. Mm-hmm. I think you had a price of $5.95.
Yeah.
90-day, 12-month, 24-month, 2023 averages are all 600 plus. Mm-hmm. For all intents and purposes, it is a $600 book.
Yeah. You
pay $575, you get a good deal on that book. Of course, you get. We talk about it. There's anomaly sales, right? But we don't follow anomaly sales. I don't follow anomaly high sales. even though sometimes I really, really want to.
Right.
I don't follow anomaly low sales. I follow averages. If I see, I would say like 2 to 3 sales in a row is the beginning of a trend.
Right.
So in that scenario, if it's not totally like part of the, like if a 90-day average is 300, but a book has gone for like 450, like 3 times in a row, twice in a row, that's when I start to be like, okay, like this is the new ask for the book. Anyway, so all that to say, 5.0 is about a $600 book. You slash it. You're talking. You're saying like, I'm about to slash these prices, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna cut that to 550. That's a pretty good deal. This dude takes out a second sticky note and writes 500, and it pretty much got claimed instantly. Like, I wanted to claim it.
I didn't even wait for an offer. I just said I was negotiating against myself.
Yeah, and he just started slicing prices. And he was just like, this book right here, whatever the price, new price, 40% off or whatever.
I think it was like I had a 9.2 Iron Man 3. It was like 225, like 120 or 150 or something crazy like that.
Yeah. And it's just
like done with it. I don't know what came over me. I'm like, let's go. Let's just make it happen.
And it worked. I mean, if you were a reseller in that chat, in that sale, you were having a good time.
And that was predominantly who I ended up selling to were resellers.
Yeah.
Mostly. And you were having fun too, because at a certain point, I had Iron Fist 14 up there, and I had it at 485, I think. Mm-hmm. And I just dropped it to 4. Yeah. In a 9.0 white pager. Yep. And you at some point you just came in front of the camera. You're like, yo, you guys, this book right here, this is crazy. And you're like quoting the average sales over the last 90 days.
Yeah.
And he confided that he wanted to buy it because you could have sold it for a profit. You could.
Yeah. I mean, and it was a white page copy. And I literally told them, I was like, guys, I have a 9.0 copy off white to white in my inventory. I promise you in the future, when you see my copy, it is not going to be this cheap. Like, unless the market just like turns for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But if the market is like, it's kind of staying where it's at, it's pretty consistently 450 to 480 is the range for it. So like, yeah, I'm not going that low. So I was like, you guys need to be claimed. This is the first Sabretooth.
And then and then I was taking combo offers on top of that.
Yeah. You took a big combo offer.
Yeah, I did. Things got crazy. And we like all sales, you have your ebbs and flows and ups and downs, and it gets quiet. And then we went to the 4-hour max. And at that point I had about 15 to 20 raws left to show. I'd shown everything else I had and I had much left to show. Some signed books to show and not much else. And so like, but we got to show everything. We can't not show everything. So, we got to stop it. You can't go more than 4 hours on Instagram Live. So we told everybody, all right, we're gonna stop and then restart. So just jump back in, and anytime you do that when it's getting late, we've been there for 4 hours. Yeah, it wouldn't have surprised me if, and we had probably a steady 13 to 18 the whole night. Sometimes it would get a little more, but that's kind of where it was. And it wouldn't have surprised me if nobody came back, because like we've pretty much what's he got left to show us, So anyway. I mean, we went for another like hour and a half after that because we kept
like 2.5,
another 2.5 hours. My gosh. I mean, I lost track because people were asking one more wall scan, one more. And then we just started, and then we'd go on another run of sales.
Yeah.
I
was expecting we come back. We're probably around for 30 more minutes. Like, that's probably it. But then there just came a point where, I mean, people were still claiming, and there just came a point after we had come back where I was like, okay, he has energy. He's giving people deals. I know he doesn't want to take any of these home. So I'm not going to end things until people stop claiming. Like the sale will end when the claims stop. Yeah. And that's why we went for another 2.5 hours.
Yeah. And that's where the big slabs went, the werewolf went right away.
Yeah.
And then after that, though, I had a Conan 23 and a 9.6. First Red Sonja, old label. So, room to improve perhaps with a press.
Yeah.
Conan 24 had, I mean, you can look at the IG to see what was up there, but I had a lot of big books, and then Jaws Comics came up, and he was there. He may have been in there for 30 minutes max,
if that.
if even. He might have been like 20. He was like a shooting star across the,
Yeah, literally.
He just came in. He's like, makes me an offer on 2 books. We make a deal. Then he buys the first 9.4 of the first Spider-Woman.
Yeah.
On the based with the slash price that was up there, because the retailers know, they're looking at it like, what? Like, you taking how much for that? 150 for that? Because I know I can take that, put it in my inventory, and eventually I'll sell it for 2. Like, there's no way I won't.
Yeah.
And I know, in part it's good for him because he's a retailer, but he was also doing it because a lot of people were in there to get behind my drive to get to FF1. I could feel that. And that was a lot of fun. And he just goes, how much for the rest of your slabs? And I had 4 slabs left. And they weren't cheap slabs either. There were big books in there.
Yeah.
It was it was a big number. And he ended up being the biggest purchaser of the night. And I was overwhelmed by it. Like, it was so much fun. Like, you had the spreadsheet in front of you, and you start doing this with the calculator, and it's not about the money. It's about the Fantastic Four 1.
It's about getting to the.
Yeah, it's about
the
getting.
FF1 costs money. So.
Yeah, it's about the quest to meet this dream. It's not even a goal, because most of the time it's just been like an impossible dream of mine, and. So you've got the number, but you don't show me. You put it in front of the camera so the camera can see what it is.
Yeah,
the chat can see what it is, and
they wanted to know. They were asking.
Yeah, they were behind me on it. So
yeah,
it was really fun.
They were like, how much have you made so far? Like, how much progress have you made? So we weren't just like flexing.
I had former students in there. I had a coworker, that another professor in my department came on, and he bought a book.
Yeah.
My daughter in Orange County bought a couple books. Her boyfriend bought a slab for me. You bought a book.
Oh, right here, baby.
Dara bought a couple books.
Yeah.
Melissa's friend, he's all of our friends, but Wallace bought stuff for his dad, for himself. Like, I mean, it was really fun. It was a lot of fun. And should we tell them what it was? I mean,
yeah.
It was it was $4,550, like rounding it,
Yeah.
4,550 was the final tally on the sales that I had. 4,550.
Crazy.
I mean, we're talking, and at that, and then you throw in the 600 that I have already set aside. I'm already at 52 something.
Yeah.
That's shopping realm at this point.
Yeah.
Because if I were to find a book, even if it were 6,000 and I bought it,
you borrow against yourself.
I just would. Yeah, that's not a problem. That I wouldn't feel bad about.
Yeah.
I've already done the work.
Right.
Doesn't mean that I'll do that. We'll see, but I can start shopping. So anyway, it was overwhelming. It was humbling. It was exhilarating. And if you're wondering, hey Bob, do you have any regrets for letting a lot of books go for cheaper than maybe you could have gotten if you were patient or all that kind of stuff? None, zero, no regrets at all. It was so much fun, and I mean, you have a philosophy about selling comics, and your philosophy is that you want to reward collectors for the work they did as collectors in going out and finding these great books, keeping them in good condition all those years, and now there comes a time they want to cash that in, and you reward them by not lowballing them the way a lot of retailers do.
Yeah.
And of course you have to make a profit, but how much profit do you have to make before only one side of the equation is happy?
Right.
And that's not rewarding. We've all been there, right? You go to a comic book shop with your. I tried once to sell all my comics. I tried to get out of it all the way. When we were trying to buy a house, I was ready to liquidate everything.
Yeah.
And I walked into a comic shop, and the guy, like, I had all the boxes in my car, and I walked in with one short box to show him, and he's like, yeah, we're not buying comics right now. That's all he had to say to me. I was like, which probably wasn't true. Knowing what I know now, of course that's not true. Comic book shops are always buying comics, but it was a tactic to get me. Or he's already lowballing me before he's even seen what I have, right? And so I just said, oh, okay, and I just walked out. I'm like, okay, and, I don't know what he expected me to do, and so it was just kind of like, oh, that didn't feel too good, right?
Yeah.
Your philosophy is no. I want to give them a price that's fair for them, but also leaves me a margin where I can make some money.
Yeah.
Seems like a reasonable and honorable thing to do, but doesn't get done very often.
No, it's something actually that I think is really, really common in the card space.
Interesting.
A lot of sellers in the card, they will pay way better margins, like up to 90%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like there's this dude that I follow. I think his name is King of Cards. Really cool dude. And he'll walk up and he posts these videos on. He has like somebody who like follows him and like films when he's at card shows, and he he'll just walk up and he'll be like, hey, like this card, and people know who he is because he's pretty famous at this point in that space, and he'll deal and he'll be like, yeah, you got room on this, and they'll say, well, like I really want to do it at this price, and then he'll be like, okay, and then like he'll negotiate with them, and he's always really nice, and then he'll just be like, let me get 10% out of this, like to just
wow.
He's like,
that's unheard of to pay 90%. You just never hear that.
And he'll be like, I've never had this card before. I would love to have it in my inventory. Like let me get this, and then he'll make a deal. I saw him make a deal with somebody on the short where it was a raw card. It was a Ken Griffey something, and they were basically like, this is the deal he made. He was like, okay, I'll give you $5,000 if I make over $8,000 on this book. Any amount that I sell
card.
over $8,000,
yeah, I'll
split 50-50 with you.
Wow.
So he was like, let me make the $3,000 profit. Like I'll buy from you. I'll make the $3,000 profit. If it sells for over 8,000, if I sell it for 10, then you get 1,000.
Ah, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then this guy's probably gets a lot of sellers reaching out to him because he's an honest buyer.
Yeah. Something that I love that he does, and I feel like this is where the mindset is flipped. When has a booth and he's doing his thing at a card show, and people are like come to him and they want to sell something, and he'll they bring him a card, they'll be like, oh, I got this, it's this, and he'll be like, yeah, like what do you want for it? And they're like, oh, like I don't really know, like you're the pro here, and he's like, no, I'm the buyer. He's like, you're the seller. He's like, I'm buying right now. He's like, you tell me what you want.
Yeah.
He's like, and we go from there. And I love that mindset that he's like, because I've had people, I've gone to negotiations, and you don't want to be the first one to like,
throw the number
they
out.
always say you're in the weaker position, but I just like love that mindset where it's like, yeah, no, I'm the buyer here. I'm the customer to you right now. You're the one who has the product that I want, and we got to come to an agreement. So if you want to sell that thing, I'm willing to buy it, but you got to give me your price so that we can start. And so I love that mindset, because his mindset is, I'm giving somebody money in return for this product. But I feel like sometimes the mindset is, even though I'm the buyer, I'm the seller. So because I'm the seller, I need to make sure that I get this for as low as I can so I can maximize my profits.
Right.
Which, thinking about your margins is important. I'm not saying that it's not, but I think there could be a little bit better of a balance.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was thinking about that at the claim sale. I can do that same thing that you do for, the person who's selling his dad's collection. Why couldn't I offer that same kind of courtesy to people who were buying from me?
Yeah.
I could hold out for another 10%, another 15% on this book, or I can just make you really happy and say it's a deal.
Yeah.
It's a deal. makes me happy because I just turned that book into a piece of Fantastic Four 1.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
And I'm not taking a bath on any of these books. And even if I did take a bath on a book, it doesn't really matter. I wouldn't care if basically it's an elaborate trade. It's just a trade.
Yeah.
In the end for me. So the best transactions, everybody's happy.
Yeah.
The best transactions, everybody profits.
Yeah.
I've done that. I've made purchases before, comics and other things, where I robbed myself of the joy I should have had because I know I paid too much. Or I felt a little pressured to buy it, and then it just doesn't feel good. And it kind of takes the joy out of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, no, how about, but I've also really wanted a book and a seller has made me a crazy deal.
Yeah.
And then it becomes even more fun for me. So why couldn't I pass that on?
Yeah.
And then generated all this momentum and excitement, and I allowed myself to get swept up in it, and I sold a lot of books for a lot cheaper than I thought I would. But when I did the tally at the very end, it was still within that 20 to 25% range of what I was asking.
Yeah.
For these books, that's pretty average.
Yeah.
And people are happy, and they're happy. They're happy because they wanted to help me out in my quest to get FF1. They're also happy because they got books for a good deal, whether they want to resell them or they want to keep them in their own collection. And I was sure as heck happy. You saw, I'm still happy. I couldn't really sleep last night. Like I managed to fall asleep, and then I woke up at 3 and I couldn't stop running the claim sale through my head. And it wasn't like, oh, I should have gotten this, or no, nothing like that at all. It was like, I was just reliving it because it was fun.
How long were you up for?
I woke up at 3, at least an hour and a half.
Wow.
Well, I was just laying there in bed going,
you were just thinking, that's it?
Yeah, just thinking. And then I started thinking on the flip side, like, when can I start shopping for FF1?
Yeah.
I hadn't even sent an invoice out yet, for this claim, so I'm already thinking about it. But anyway, so it exceeded my expectations in every way. Like let's just say I stuck to, and I didn't really take too many offers, or I countered very slightly, and then that was that. And I wound up selling, probably half the books. And instead of making 4,500, I made 3,000.
Yeah.
But I have a lot more books to go back in my collection and sell some other point. That's a loss for me.
Yeah.
It's a win. The 3,000, I would have been stoked for 3.
Yeah.
But I didn't, as I said, I wasn't there to nickel and dime people so I could get a few hundred more bucks on something. I just wanted the books to move.
Yeah.
So it was it was really fun to just be able to say yes. And I also really appreciate that people were willing to do that. Like, I said as much to Chris from Jaws Comics at the time. I'll reiterate it here. He's the guy that got me FF2.
Yeah.
He had a copy and it didn't sell in his claim sale. And I reached out to him. I said, would you be willing to trade? And he's like, sure. And we worked out a deal. So, he came in, he made the deals, and I know he was making the deals because they were good deals for him. But I also know he came in and he was making the deals to help me out.
Yeah.
To be a part of it, and and that I could say that about a lot of people who were there. And the community is it's great when you feel that, right?
Yeah, totally.
And I've seen it. I've seen people rally, for much more important reasons than mine. Hey, we're doing this because someone's got, it's a charity thing for this, or for this, for the fire, or people donating books, or we're doing this for someone's daughter because the college fund. Remember that? And I think, and people get behind that. Someone's liquidating their collection because they got medical bills. Those books fly off the shelf. People do reverse offers. Like someone's like trying to sell a book for 200. He's like, will you take 225 for it? Yeah. Have you seen that stuff? Like, I have too. And it just gives me the chills, right?
Yeah.
And and me trying to get a Fantastic Four 1 is minuscule compared to that kind of stuff. But even so, people were stoked to be a part of it.
Yeah, I think people like to be. So my wife and I have been in the streaming content creation world professionally for 5 years.
Yeah.
People ask us all the time, especially her, because she's the more successful one on the streaming end. They're like, people pay they pay you and you play video games and they watch you play video games for 4 hours. Like,
and they subscribe But they could just watch without subscribing.
Yeah, and they could not pay and watch for free, because like we don't paywall any of our content. It's just there. Like if you just want to support in the ways that the platforms allow you to support, or I don't know, whatever other ways you can.
Yeah.
But we don't paywall anything. Like there's nothing that's like hidden. And then she's, successful, and she's really good at what she does. And people are like, and people will, you make money doing that. And the answer is like, yeah, I think people just like to be part of something that's bigger than themselves. Like,
It's true. Yeah.
at the end of the day, that's really what I like. They pay $5 a month to subscribe on Twitch to their favorite streamer, because that $5 a month and all the time that they spend watching that streamer, it probably brings them a lot of joy throughout the month.
Yeah.
And so they probably, like connecting it back to you, they're like, oh, this guy has a big goal in mind. And everybody knows, everybody that's in those sales, they know what Fantastic Four 1 is.
Yeah.
They know what it costs to get there.
Yeah.
And so they're going to be like, yeah, you know what? Let me get a couple of these books because I like them, and a chip in towards your dreams. Like, and you just feel good about that at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. I felt that coming from people in the sale for sure. And, and I think that's the thing that was flowing through my veins that kept me up and then woke me up. It was just being exposed to that kind of enthusiasm and support. Like, it's exhilarating.
Yeah, he told me that story a little bit earlier today, and I was telling him, I was like, I couldn't fall asleep either, because I was just like excited. But I was excited for him, but I was excited on the other end because I learned a lot about my own claim sale shows from what you did. You had a lot of like $7, $5, $3, $10 books.
Yeah, I had books. I got 10 copies of this for $3 each. Who wants it?
And
fun.
My last couple shows, ever since I've gone solo and been doing solo sales shows, I've kind of like brought out a lot of my really good stuff, and I think that was necessary because I gotta get eyes onto the show. So I bring out my silver ASM, bring out my silver FF, and those sell really, really well. But I was watching people whose usernames I recognize claiming the lower end stuff. And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess I don't really have a lot of that. Like, I might have like one or two $5 books, but I don't really have a lot.
Right.
And so then I started thinking about like, I was like closing my eyes and I was just like envisioning my office space, and I know where like all my inventory is in my office and like what is where. And so I started thinking about like the books that I had lying around, and then I was like, man, I have a lot that I literally, from the collection that I bought in February, that I haven't even touched. Yeah. Like, because I've been
so many books.
I've been messing with the ASM and the FF, and I've been, dealing with all those because those are the, that's what people want. And right. I'll bring them out as long as people want them. But I'm like, man, there's some DC stuff here. Yeah. Untouched.
I like Green Lantern that you have.
Yeah. And a bunch of Flash that I've not.
Mm-hmm. Superman also.
Yeah. Superman. Everything Batman. Detective. Batman. Shadow of the Bat. Legends of the Dark Knight.
Azrael. Whatever it's called. Yeah.
Just like all that stuff. Of it. And you know what I learned was I think it's Shadow of the Bat. It might be like issue 1 or issue 2, which I have the full run of that title. Issue 1 is the first appearance of Victor Zsasz. Victor Zsasz is not super popular on the movie end, but on the video game end, he's a pretty popular villain in the Batman Arkham Knight video games that have come out, or Kevin Conroy reprised his role from the animated show. And he's just like he's a crazy serial killer, and he like scars his body, kind of like Killmonger does, but like in a more of like a twisted
Man.
way.
I was thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
That book that is so sick, by the way. I kids love Stilt Man.
And so I was just like, oh, I wonder if there's any like Shadow of the Bat keys. And then I see that in there. And then I'm like, oh, I wonder what's in the Green Lantern run. And then I see some like minor keys. And I'm like, dang, I need to start going back out into this whole collection and stop focusing on the big boy titles, which I still will because y'all like it. Yeah. But I'm like on this like Marvel only claim sale. I need to start breaking out some DC.
Yeah, definitely. I sold a lot of DC like horror stuff. Like I had some House of Secrets, but also and like weird mystery tales and stuff like that. But I also had like dark manor or weird stuff, like crazy weird stuff from, and that didn't sell. But you just never know what people are going to be into.
Yeah.
And it's fun to just mix it up.
Yeah, totally.
And those books, those are the books you can really generate momentum with, because either you're selling them for $3 or you're never selling them. So you might as well move them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Like if no one wants to buy them for $3, then say, all right, you get all 10 of these for $15, something crazy like that, So yeah, it's work to do it, to do all those smaller books, but then you can just, do it once. And then if they don't move, then
Then or I'm just like, all right, I got to go to a comic show.
I just realized I forgot to bring that Ripley's Believe It or Not cover into this room. I wanted to show it. Should I go get it? It's the ugliest cover I've ever seen.
No, I won't throw up a picture, but no, because I don't want to edit the.
We can't be responsible for replicating this comic cover anymore.
Yeah. I was supposed to have another show and tell, but I didn't even own the book for 48 hours. I think I mentioned it last week that I was going to go look at a copy of Hulk 180 and 181. And
that book, man.
I think I had a handshake deal in place when we recorded last week, and basically the person was just going to come by my office and bring it by and check everything and then confirm at that point. Brought it by, everything looked great. Did the deal. Had the book for maybe 36 hours before it sold.
It's incredible. That book. You talk about, economists talk about the velocity of a dollar. It's not just how much a dollar is worth. Velocity of a dollar is how fast does a dollar go from one hand to another. And the governments love high velocity money because they're taxing every single transaction. Yeah. Hulk 181 is a high velocity comic book.
Yeah.
That book doesn't stay in anybody's hands very long. If it's on a claim sale, you got 10 people asking about it. More than 10, because people, and somebody, just when you think you've heard it enough, a new person shows up at the claim sale and they want to know. What about that? Or they come and it's not even been shown yet, and they say is that Hulk? They saw it in the preview, so they're already asking about it.
Yeah.
That book, and for the longest time, and we've said so on this podcast, I've looked at that book as somewhat of a head scratcher because of the high value versus how many are out there. And logically speaking, I still stand by that. But here's the thing, and we all know it's true. Comic book buying and adding something to your collection is absolutely an emotional thing.
Yeah.
It's not really a logical thing. I don't think at all. Unless there's a little specking that's logical, but everybody has those books where they just go, but I wasn't planning to buy this book, but I needed to get it.
Yeah.
When you put that Hulk 181 in my hands, let me look at it, I wanted it. You know what I mean? Like I understand why that book is so cherished and sought after, even at the high price, given how many are available. It's just a smoking hot book, dude. It's such a nice book.
Dang, you know what we should have done? I should have traded you my Hulk 180 that has the Marvel value stamp for your Werewolf by Night 32. That's what I should have done.
That would have been an interesting trade, actually. A really interesting trade.
Yeah.
Wow. That's actually would have been a fair trade too. That's because you're what's the condition of the 180? It's like 7?
6.0.
6.0.
I mean, you looked at it, you said 7.
Yeah, I thought 7.
And then I was like, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. So 6.5.
Yeah.
6.5. And I sold mine for 500. So yeah, that would have been a right deal. Even at 6, it would have been a right deal.
Yeah.
That might have been kind of fun.
You got to check your, maybe there is something we could trade. I'd be down to trade.
Yeah, we haven't really done much of that yet.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we tried to get a trade going for FF5, but I wasn't in the place to do it. I couldn't scrape it up, but now I know I could have.
Well, okay, so
But you sold the FF5.
yeah,
now, so.
well, yeah, I was about to say. So we've talked about your sale. So I had a sale a few days before you, and is my most successful. We both just had great weeks. Like you
Yeah,
guys really showed up, supported. It was amazing.
And all the result of them showing up to get you that 1,000 subscribers. Like,
Yeah,
so man, thank you.
yeah. We
On
wouldn't
his
have been able
behalf,
to go live without it. Yeah. The person, by the way, the person that won that book, they have the book. They've made a post and everything.
Oh,
But when I told them they won, they were like, "You're lying." They're like, "I didn't win. Like you're joking. Like you're joking. Like don't play with me." Type thing.
oh, I
And
love it.
And I was like, "No, man, you won. Congrats!" And they were like, "Oh my gosh, this is a grail to me. Like, thank you so much."
Yeah, it feels good, right?
Yeah.
It feels good. Like, well, you do it more than I do. Putting a treasure in somebody's hand.
Yeah.
Come on.
So, yeah. So without you guys supporting and getting us or getting me to 1,000, we wouldn't have been able to go live.
Yeah.
So I had my most successful solo sale last Tuesday, and I didn't have my FF5 in a preview. I didn't have it prepped. Matter of fact, I didn't even have it in my office
Nope.
because I don't keep those big books at the office.
Yeah.
You know, if anything crazy happened, I don't think anything would happen, but just in the a small off chance that something does happen, I don't want that stuff there.
No.
Anyways, somebody comes in and they're like, "You have an FF5?"
That
And
was crazy.
I was like, well, I do. It's not here. And they're like, "No worries, we can do an off camera deal." I was like, "Nah, we'll do an on camera deal."
And then you asked him, what condition are you looking for?
Yeah. And he was like 2.0. And I was like, "Brother, I have a 2.0."
I'm ready to go.
And so
I mean, the odds of that, right?
yeah, so I told my wife, I was like, because she was running the camera, I was like, "Hey, can you just go drive to the house, grab the book, come back?" She was like, "Yeah." So she came back. She came back. Must have been like 20 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
And then showed the book and he was like, "What are you asking?" And I was like, 32. Just to start. And he didn't say anything. I was like, "All right," head on the wall. And this other IG seller came in and offered me the FF5, the FF48, FF49, and FF52 that I had.
Oof.
He just gave me a
It's a
crazy,
massive
massive
bundle.
offer.
Mhm.
It was an amazing offer, but there wasn't enough room there for me. And because he had thrown the FF5, then that other guy came back and then he made me an official counter and a better counter, because the guy who made me the original offer, which was again a great offer, but just I wouldn't have been able to do it. I think he offered in the trade 27 for the FF5, which was a good offer, honestly. And my ask was 32, and the other guy came in, and I was like, let me prioritize this other guy. I was like, because in complete fairness, I did not have this book prepped. He asked me to bring this book out, and if I had this book prepped and he hadn't responded for like 20 minutes, then I would have considered that open to the room. But this book wouldn't be on the wall if it wasn't for him asking.
Yeah.
So I'm giving him like he has to tell me, "No, I don't want that book."
Yeah, I thought you handled that well. That was the right way to do it.
Yeah. So then he came back and he gave me an offer, and he gave me a counter to my 32, and I accepted it.
Okay, you accepted it, and then after that, it was like bang, 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 bang. A bunch of sales went through,
Yeah.
and at the end of the night, someone's like, "You were talking about, wow, this is a crazy sale. We sold a lot of stuff." And then somebody said, "Yeah, we for a little while there, we broke Spro."
Yeah. No, because when the IG seller made me that big offer, it was a huge number.
I mean, it throws you off. You're like, what do I? Whoa.
I mean, I've had sales where I've made less than that number that he offered.
Right.
But just at the end of the day, the math just didn't work out. But I'm thankful. But I was sitting there and my brain was short circuited because I'm not a math guy.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting there having to like do math in my head for 4-digit numbers, and I'm like my brain's just like, yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to figure it all out. But Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, sold the first ever FF5 that I got because you guys know I upgraded this copy right here. It's 2.5. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So that will probably. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't have FF1 yet, so I don't even want to talk about anything else. But that won't be the last quest I go on. There'll be
the world is your oyster now.
I feel, yeah. I mean, it was also a dear friend of mine who lives in Florida now with his wife, and he had said to me, "You gotta start wielding the power of your collection."
Yeah,
And he's the one that really encouraged me and got me to think about trades for FF2. Like, yeah, you have this collection at your disposal. Why don't you leverage it for the things you really want? You've collected all these books and you love all these books, but you'd rather have that book.
yeah,
And you said the same thing. So it's kind of like a paradigm shift for me a little bit.
yeah. I think that's something that's like really cool about this hobby is like you might lose money, right? Like overpaying for something, or like you buy something new off the rack for $5. It's worth $1 by the time you walk out of the comic store or whatever. But I think what's cool is like your money's not totally gone.
No.
There are other hobbies where your money, golf, for instance.
Yeah.
When I go golf and now I play all types of golf. I'll pay $20 round golf. I'll play $200 rounds golf. Yeah. Like some really, really nice courses, especially that we have in SoCal because we have great weather. So you can play them year round and they're treated really nicely because our environment and ecosystem is really good. So, I'll pay $20 to play 18 holes. I'll pay $200 to play 18 holes, whatever it is. When I spend that money, it is gone.
It's gone. Yeah.
It is. I'm not getting it back. I'm getting an experience. I'm with my friends, having a beer or two, smoking a cigar, like whatever. We're having a good time. Like it's a fun experience. I'll cherish those memories. But I'm not getting that $200 back. No. I'm not getting that $20 back.
Nope.
There's a course in the city that I grew up in where I went to high school. It was par 3 only. It was $5 to play after 3 p.m.
Nice.
I'm never getting the $5 back.
That's true. Yeah, it's gone. Yeah, that's right. But the comic book, it's a tangible asset that you have that it could perhaps become worth more if it turns out to be a key of some kind. But even as part of a greater collection, could still be turned back into some cash, like that one collection you have on Facebook Marketplace. Like, well, I got a short box full of books that I bought because I wanted to read them. I read them. I don't really feel like waiting 20 years to see if any of them pop. Does anybody want to give me $25 for them, $30 for them? And then you go get some more books. So yeah, you can. It's still, but it always retains some value.
Yeah. Which is cool.
Which is really cool.
There's worse places to put your money.
Yeah, there are worse places to put your money. And you get something out of it.
Gambling.
You get to read it. Yeah, gambling. I don't like to gamble, but
I love blackjack.
Yeah, I enjoy watching other people do it.
Me too. I get those videos on my feed sometimes.
Yeah,
too.
They're fun.
The high stakes blackjack videos, where it's like $50K a hand. Those guys are crazy.
How could you even do that?
Yeah,
but to each his own.
We're in a pretty good hobby.
Yeah, it's a great hobby. Yeah,
definitely worse places.
And it can't just be about the money, right? I mean, there's a satisfaction that we get when we land the book we always wanted to land, or fill the run that we always wanted to fill, or read that story that makes our hair stand up on the back of our necks, or whatever, right? Or how about when you spec on a book and you get it right? Yeah. That's a certain cool level of thrill also.
Yeah.
Or when you walk into someone's garage to look at a collection and there's just like, you may buy it, you may not, but it's fun either way.
Yeah, totally.
Because you're back in that place of being a kid saying, what if? Like what could be in this?
Yep.
So the hobby gives back in a lot of different ways to a lot of different people. I didn't even talk about the artistry stuff. I put one book up at the claim sale, a couple books, but the first one last night put up at the claim sale, and it was beautiful. Uncanny X-Men, Uncanny Avengers 1 with the I think Manara cover. I think that's right, Italian cover. But anyway, limited book from Munich's German book, Panini. It's like 300 copies of it, whatever. It's a beautiful cover, painted cover of Scarlet Witch. And I put it up and it got claimed full price right away. And then I look up and I see a pair of hands reaching, doing this on either side of the phone that's broadcasting the claim sale. And on the end of the hands is my daughter, who's in the room, and she bought the book.
Yeah.
Because she loved the cover.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely right. And she's not going to slab it. She's not going to spec on it. She's not even going to read it. She's going tomorrow to like Michael's or something to buy a frame to put it on her wall.
Yeah, she wants to hang it somehow.
Because it's that pretty as a piece of art. And and so yeah, there's that value.
Yeah.
Or even just sometimes you're just like, you know what? My wife's out with her friends. I got or she's away for the weekend and I'm just sitting here. I'm just going to go through and rearrange my comic collection.
Yeah.
And have a real good time going through and look at the books again, Anyway, so it definitely is a hobby that has a lot to give back.
So in so many ways.
Yeah, it really
emotionally, relationally, financially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The friends you make, I've always maintained that there's a gigantic foxhole that's filled with nerds like us, and we all recognize each other.
Yeah.
And there's an immediate camaraderie when you meet another nerd. You just it's not always easy to be a nerd.
Yeah.
And but it's really fun to geek out with your nerds friends. And there's that part of it too. So. I've made some really good friends just in the last couple of years where I've been collecting sort of more publicly, doing the podcast with you and just being in the Instagram world and out on conventions and then just people kind of reaching out to us, and it's a lot of fun, man. I just love it. So.
Yeah. Even somebody claimed some books from me and from you yesterday, who was a friend of mine. We just kind of ran in like, what are the circles that overlap? What are those called?
Venn diagrams?
Yeah, like our circles just kind of overlap like that. Like we were never in the same circle, but our groups would like kind of hang out. And so he bought some stuff from me and some stuff from you. I sent out all my invoices today, and then I told him, I was like, hey man, I didn't know you collected. And I was like, I had no clue when we were kind of hanging around. But I was like, I guess that's not information that we give up so easily.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. We don't.
But get this. He was like, yeah, I wasn't really collecting then. And if you guys were doubters, listen to this. He said, yeah, I wasn't really collecting back then, but the Marvel Rivals to collecting pipeline is real.
Mm-hmm. We were talking about that maybe a couple months ago.
Yep.
It's bringing people into the hobby.
It is.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
And, bring them on in.
Yeah, he bought a first appearance of Colleen Wing from me. Marvel Premiere 19. Undervalued book.
Way undervalued book.
Yeah, he bought that book for like $20, $15 for me. I think it's a great book.
Yeah, that's great. And who was it? Oh, and Melissa's boyfriend bought his first comic book. It was a Star Wars 65? 68, 65, I think. It's the might be 68. It's the one with the Mandalorian cover. You all know it. Orange.
Yeah.
Gorgeous cover.
Yellow.
Yeah, yellow. I love the book. Slabbed at an 8.5. I put that thing up on, and as soon as it was up there, he just claimed it because he saw it in a preview and that he wanted it.
Yeah.
And we were joking, saying, and I'm going to see him tomorrow, so I'm going to hand deliver it to him. He said, we said, Joshua and I, you guys, this is where it begins. Like, you gotta watch out. Be careful. It starts with, it all started with one comic for all of us.
Yep.
He's not a comic book guy, but it all starts with one.
Yeah.
You just it has so many points of entry. Comic books do.
Yeah.
And for him, he liked the cover, and he obviously knows Star Wars, and you can't really go wrong with that book.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you remember the one comic it was for you?
Yeah, it was a couple comics. It was kind of a set. It was my friend who we had fought, about something or other, and we didn't talk like for 2 months of the summer or something stupid. And so I hung out with a different friend, and he hung out with a different friend, and that friend actually got him into collecting comics. So when we all started talking again at the end of the summer, or he showed me this new hobby he was into, and he how did it work exactly? He kind of just gave me a few comics to get me started,
Yeah.
And there was a few like Defenders 87 and Defenders 89 and like Fantastic Four 225, and then we went to the convenience store and I bought a couple books, So it's just that whole set.
Man,
they're not worth anything.
God's sovereignty in that fight that you had with that friend.
Yeah, for real. Like bringing new people into your life brings new interests into your life.
Yeah.
It's not probably a good thing if you're like isolate and just only hang out with the same people all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that there's a comfort in that, but being exposed to different people with different interests can really expand your interests. And that definitely was true for me. And you and I together have egged each other on into the comic. But we were joking because when I was in Italy, you said it's like I was out of the hobby, and I kind of felt the same way. Like I had fun going to the Panini shop and looking for comics, but it wasn't something that was on my mind all the time.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, man, am I as into it as I was? And that all quickly went away. And of course I am, but for me, it's really, it's just those books. It's not a grail. It's not anything special. It's just the first books where I looked at and I thought, this is a cool collecting thing to do. Cause I always like collecting stuff.
Yeah.
But the order of it, like issue numbers and meticulously making sure it's in good condition, but also loving the covers and then reading them and then putting them back and bagging and boarding them and storing them in a safe place. I loved all of it.
Yeah.
And it started with that maybe first 4 or 5 books. And I have a database with all my comics, every single one. And how much I paid for it, if I can remember that. But I've got a special note on that set of 5 where it just says in the original collection of comics I think I just said I bought, but I think some of them were just given to me. I don't really remember. But those will stay. Those will stay in my collection.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I like, sometimes I look at them you guys ever remember a feeling? That's kind of a weird way to think of it. Like I remember facts.
Sure.
I remember tastes and smells and all that. But sometimes I remember a feeling. And remembering a feeling is really the same as feeling it all over again.
Yeah.
You can't really remember a feeling. You have to feel the feeling again.
Yeah.
I can objectively say, oh, I was really happy that day.
Mm-hmm.
But happy is what you say about something in retrospect because it's just this broad thing. But the nuance of feeling, the feeling of awe and wonder and excitement and pride and joy when you get your first few comics and realize you're going to get into this hobby. That I felt it.
Yeah.
And I don't always feel that way because but when I do, it's just great.
Yeah.
And the hobby's that for me.
Yeah, for sure.
It's cool.
That is cool. Yeah. Yeah. I love collecting. I just started thinning out my PC. I'm going to be moving a lot. That's probably the next collection I quote unquote buy.
Buy your own.
Yeah.
We all go through it, right? You have to kind of go, you buy a bunch and then you have to sell some. Then you buy a bunch and you have to sell some.
Yeah. Because I really do want to achieve this top 10 white page.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really fun.
That's a major goal. That's going to take, well, it doesn't matter how long it takes, does it? I've been trying to get FF1 for 45 years. Right?
Yeah.
So who knows how long it will take, but you're already, look at that. Like you already have some.
Yeah. X-Men 4 has got to be next. Hopefully.
That's a great book right there too.
Yeah, I got to get a white page copy. It's a disgusting off-white to white page.
Oh my goodness.
It's gross. Get it out of here.
I do like white pages. I do like that little
Yeah, it looks clean. That's what I'm saying. Imagine a short box of slabs that's just all white pages. Imagine how sick that would look.
Well, white pages does indicate that the book is extra fresh.
Yeah. Does.
I mean, if the book's in white pages, it means a lot more than if it's cream to tan or something like that.
Yeah.
Cream to light tanning or slightly brittle. That's
yeah.
But I didn't think I would become like a white pager, but a guy. But I get it.
Maybe soon enough.
FF1 white pages.
Imagine. Oh my gosh, that'd be insane.
I mean, I've looked at Go Collect. I've looked at the prices just to kind of see. And truly between 1.0 and 2.0, there sometimes I've seen the price is not a lot of difference between 1.5, 1.8 and 2.0. You'd be surprised. Like it's weird. It gets real militant after that though.
Sure.
2.5, it's probably $2,000 a half a point from 2.5 to 3 to 3.5 to 4. Like it just does that.
It starts,
and then you get to 6 and it's 5,000 a point, like 10,000 a point. Like it gets crazy fast. But I'm not. Oh man, I can't even talk about that yet. I can't talk about buying it yet.
Yeah,
I need to send my invoices out tonight.
Yeah. Man, well, that's exciting. I'm stoked for you.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me sell on your platform, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
No problem.
Really fun. That's fun. There's no episode next week. I will be in New York later this week into the weekend, so no episode next week. But when I come back at like the end of August, pretty much, I'll do a claim sale.
Nice.
So I'll prep for that pretty much as soon as I get back. So make sure you just stay posted on my IG.
Mm-hmm.
I think I come back when you guys are watching this, like a week from today or a week from tomorrow, I think. Something like that. So just keep your eyes peeled on my IG at @Spurs_comics. If you guys want to keep supporting Mr. Longbox's journey to his FF1, he's still got a little bit of ways to go, so he may be throwing some books up on his page.
Maybe so.
So just follow him on IG, or if you just are invested and want to see if he gets it, because you'll probably find out on IG before you find out on this.
I'll post videos of my progress. Here's where I am and here's where I'm trying to get.
Yeah, so if you want to keep up with all that day to day, follow him on IG at Mr. Longbox. But we appreciate you guys for watching, listening, and we'll see you guys in a couple weeks.
Have a great couple weeks.
See you guys.
Bye.